Let me just read you guys the symptoms of COVID, right? Cold, hot chills, no appetite to eat, fatigue, sleeping all the time, headaches, coughing, running nose, sore throat, and loss of taste and smell. So my COVID story went a little bit like this. What's up guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you very much for tuning in. It's your girl Miriam. For those who are tuning in, thank you if you're tuning in for the first time, and if you are an old subscriber, thank you very much for coming back. This is part 3 of my pregnancy journey with baby number 2. This was a very tough one, but we are going to try and break it down as much as we can. And yeah, let me tell you guys my story of being heavily pregnant in my 3rd trimester and testing positive for COVID-19. I'm chilling in my 3rd trimester. Everything is going well. You know, all is working out. I am having the time of my life. I'm joking. I wasn't having the time of my life. I was exhausted. I was exhausted. That's the biggest I can put it. I was very, very tired. I just wanted to give birth. At this point, I was complaining to my friend. I felt like I was ready. If you guys hear noises, obviously I'm home. That's my son in the background, baby number 2. So you're going to hear little noises, but I hope you hear me, my voice, over his voice more. I'm just chilling at home, and then, you know, in my 3rd trimester, like I said in my previous video, just you know, trying to get by, emotions getting the best of me, because when you are a pregnant woman, it's really hard enough as it is. In your 3rd trimester, you just want to give birth, and I was due on the 21st of July, and I think this was in June, July, I'm not sure. Try and put the dates up somewhere. I had recently just went to go and do my baby shopping for the baby. I wasn't done buying the baby stuff. I had gotten the basic stuff, obviously, like clothes, a little blanket, some cosmetics, but I was already spring cleaning. And when you start doing that, it's like you're already getting into the vibe of things. And maybe in this case, it's winter cleaning, spring, the season, summer, autumn, spring, and winter. Anyway, I was cleaning and I was just getting ready to like go to the hospital, but like I was not done shopping entirely. So I was still gathering some things. And mind you, I have not bought anything for myself at all, like none whatsoever. And I had to go out because it was winter. I had to go out and pick out a gown, slippers, a bunch of socks, pajama. I'm one girl who doesn't have pajamas. I don't know if, comment down below if you're like me. I do not sleep with pajamas. I don't sleep with nothing, okay? That's me, don't judge me. So anyway, I needed to go get all of that, and I hadn't gotten anything. So I was like, okay, fine, I'm just gonna, you know, do it with time. The 21st is still way ahead of me, so I don't got nothing to worry about. Days went by. I started getting sick. Mind you, I was still working, receiving clients this whole time, but then I started getting sick, and I'm wondering like what is going on with me. But first I didn't catch. My son is very loud. Anyway, he's in the kitchen with his dad. That's why you guys are going to be hearing all of it. And as I'm getting sick, I don't pick it up immediately, but my mom could see it and feel it. She just wasn't saying anything either. I don't know why. So fast forward, I start coughing, and I start having a running nose. And I remember I started feeling really cold some moments, and other moments I would feel like really hot. So I'd go lay down, and then I'd cover myself. I would tell my mom I'm like really cold. She would come and double up the blanket, And then 2 seconds later, I'm like, I'm really hot. Like, remove everything, the socks, all the clothes. And she's like, are you okay? I'm like, I'm sure it's just a little fever. It will go away over time. I started getting headaches, and my mom started thinking, no, man, something is wrong. There's no way you can be getting headaches. You're feeling all these types of stuff. These are COVID-19 symptoms. And I was like, girl, nah, there's no way. From where? Mind you, 2020, I was in Windhoek running to Chinatown, and people were scared of Chinatown because, you get it? So I was like masking up, cleaning, doing everything. And I was like, I'm still doing that. There's no way. I am always home. Where did I get the COVID? That's the dumbest question anybody can ever ask. Hey guys, COVID is in the air. COVID is in the air. That's where I got it. I don't know where I got it. I started having sore throats. I started just being so exhausted all the time. The symptoms were just getting worse and worse, and I was coughing and coughing and coughing. I remember there were moments when my mom would just like walk into the room, and I would be talking to her and then suddenly start dozing off, and then she would just stand there and stare at me or sit on the couch in my room and wonder. And I don't know what she was thinking, but I would wake up and I would ask her like, why are you sitting over there like staring at me like that? And you know, it only hit me later on that I was in denial of it, and she could see it from a mile away, and she was really scared because a lot of people, may their soul rest in peace, a lot of mothers didn't make it who had COVID-19 and they were pregnant and giving birth. It was just a lot going on. There were a lot of funerals. Like, it was just a sad time. And I remember I would always scold my mom for going to these funerals and telling her that, Mommy, I feel like you are going out there every time and you're putting your life at risk of getting this COVID. And you are like in your old age, which is like very prime to this thing. So just stay home. What do you know? Moi got it. Guys, I'm sorry I'm laughing. It's not funny. It's just that when I think about it, I was the one literally scolding my mom like she's my child. And I am the one with the situation going to happen to me. Hey, I remember one of the very first symptoms where I just wasn't eating. I lost appetite, and then my sense of smell just disappeared, my taste disappeared. And it still had not hit me, by the way. I was still like, ay, tashivulika, like, itashivulika. It's just fever. You know that fever that people used to get fast forward? I think I've been sick for like almost a week now, right? And my mom finally told me, I no, kakadona, tikama, ngurati koshpange. I kept waking her up. She kept coming to my room. There was a point she even slept on like because she was just worried, and I was just there thinking to myself, Nene is just worrying for nothing. Like, this is just normal flu. I'll be fine. The next morning comes, so we get up, and I remember I wore a pink dress and my navy blue coat because it was quite cold. And my hair was not done. I think that was one of the reasons why I was like, oh, like, plus I couldn't get someone to come do my hair at home, and also I didn't want anybody to touch my hair, and it was natural hair, so it was really hard to maintain. So that morning we wake up, we go to the hospital, Nanjokwe State Hospital. We get there. I remember I'm not very familiar with the hospital, right? Because I haven't like really been going there. So to know clinic so going on Nanjokwe, it was like a whole situation. Like, it's very new to me. Not that, okay, I was attending my ANCs there, but because when you're attending ANCs Konanjokwe, it's like a straightforward situation. It's like just here. It's called the clinic within the state's hospital. So I would go there and I wouldn't go wandering around the whole hospital. I just knew kucha komehoka klinika po hampano po puno maternity ward. And then in Namibian, guys, sorry about that. I noticed that my microphone, or whatever this thing is called, was doing the beeping thing, and it was just really loud, noisy, and I had to remove it. Anyway, I took a little break, a little dinner break snack, okay, to put on a little jacket. And like they say. I tried calling my friend Dr. Linda Nananga to ask her where I'm supposed to go. I don't quite remember if I called her or I just thought about it, because I was quite sick and I couldn't walk, I couldn't do much. So here's the funny thing. These are the hospitals where people say kucha so I went in for casualty, and then immediately they asked me kucha like mind you, we were standing there for a very long time before they helped us. And then they were like, oh, how can we help you guys later on? I'm now starting to lean on things. Mind you, I haven't eaten in a long time. So it's like I don't even have energy to be standing there and looking like I have energy to stand. And I'm heavily pregnant. Remember that it's COVID and there are no really chairs where people can sit. I start leaning on tables, and then that's when they asked me, oh, toka therashike. And guys, disclaimer, this is not to like bash anybody or make anybody feel bad or anything. I'm just telling you guys my story, what happened to me. Fine, we get help from a nurse. I start explaining my situation. I couldn't really talk. My mom was talking on my behalf, and then she was like, oh, so this is the award, and you know, simba in the award and simba kandisha no and simba kucha. At this point I'm lost. So my mom is like, oh, then we get help. So I stand outside, I start crying because I'm so stressed out. I don't know where to go. I'm so sick. I just want to go back home, lay back in bed and cover myself. I'm not having it. So I go outside or lean on a pole and I start crying, and my mom's like, you need to walk. And I'm like, I can't even walk. I'm so weak. I feel like I'm gonna faint. I was feeling lightheaded. And my mom is like, just gather your strength. Let's go. So I was like, just give me a moment. Mind you, I still couldn't breathe. And it has gotten even worse because now I have COVID. But that time I didn't know. I mean, subconsciously yes, but like they have not confirmed yet. So I get in I sit down on the floor. This other lady was so nice. I think she works there as a cleaner. She came up to me and she was like, oh, don't worry, and then I was like, I feel like throwing up. And then I remember on my way to TMI, I threw up. And then we got to the ward where I'm supposed to go. So I get in there, and then this lady tells me, oh no, you need to go to the other side, and then you sit at the first, you turn to your left, the first door, and then you just sit there at the waiting room. They will call you in. I was like, cool. So I go over there. My mom, oh no, they told my mom kucha she can't. No, she came. She was there with me, but I don't know where she went. And they called me and it was my turn. As I get inside, this lady, the nurse, tells me lay on the bed. And at that moment I was confused because I'm like, what am I laying on the bed for? But okay, maybe it's procedure, right? I lay on the bed. The lady tells me I must take out my underwear, and she's like, meme paturoma guru koe. And I'm like, why? What is happening? And she goes, otopaturoka guru nengoto nimbanginya no meme munowira moshkan. And I'm like, I don't understand what's going on. She's like, kushikucha, what's going on nangini? Shoya koshpangero wireshkan. And I was like, because I'm not feeling well. Oh, anongea kuvitena ikuno kupaturoka guru koe. I wish I had a picture of this nurse. I would definitely insert it here and we will sue each other. Shashe omikaro daene. Ai, dakaka na iman danyata. I obviously patrura my magurus, and then she starts checking. She's like, oh, wait, no patruka sha no shero. And I'm like, ngai meme gwanje shindia hunina ndia tirombwero ntuteti kujonda patruko shero. Nga ndia gospangero na shingandra pombe tempa. I specifically said to you, otande hama can do viten now. But you assumed that I'm here because I'm dilated, which I'm not. I'm not in labor. I'm just a sick pregnant woman. And when I went to casualty, they told me to come here for help because they said they don't help Simba. Hi guys. So she tells me, oh, so at this point I was like, it's either I become rude or I just gather myself and calm down, and then we can have a nice day, right? But there's a little person inside my head telling me, right. Calm down, Shashi. At the end of the day, you're the one who needs the help. So I get up from the bed. She tells me I should go into the next room. Actually, she calls a doctor. The doctor comes in. He tells me, oh, hello, ma'am. Please dress up. It was this other very nice man. So I dress up. I follow him. And he's like, lay down on this bed. You guys, I was taken into the room where people give birth, where literally people lay on the bed and push the babies out. So I'm in there. They hook up a drip on me. I'm laying in there. They put these monitoring thingies over my belly. Those, I don't know what they are called. It's like belts, just to monitor the baby's heart rate and whatnot. And I laid there for like maybe a good 30 minutes, just in there. Then he was asking me questions like how I've been feeling and all of that. And then like he said he's supposed to take a COVID test and I'm going to be admitted. While I'm in there comes a lady who's in heavy labor. She lays on the bed, guys. I watched a woman give birth while I was in that room. And I was like, this is quite interesting. I mean, I watch it on the internet all the time, but seeing it live, I was like, sure, women, woman, man. The lady suddenly starts being nice to me. And I'm just looking at her and I'm like, Shashi, they've been catastrophic. They tell me I'm going to be admitted, so I immediately go outside to look for my mom. I tell her that I'm admitted, and then she's like, okay, it's fine, I'm just gonna go home, go pick up a few things for you, send me text messages of what you need me to bring with, and then like I'll be back shortly. I'm like, cool. So I get into the other ward, which is the COVID ward, but it's like a private ward. I don't know what's going on, but like it's written private all over. And I find, I think 3 or 2 women there. I don't remember quite well. So I get set up on my bed, and then they swab me for the COVID. This man was just like very nice, asking me like what led to this, tell me the symptoms, everything, when did it start, all of this. And this whole time my mom is trying to figure out who gave me this COVID. And there was a client of mine that came in and later on told me that she had contracted COVID. In my mom's mind is like, I don't think you're wearing a mask that day. She comes back with like now blankets, all the hospital needs. They hook me up on the oxygen thing. Their tank is out of oxygen. I'm there, I can't breathe. It's a whole situation again. It was scary. It was really scary, not only for me but for my mom the most, because she had to watch me go through it and I was in the body that was going through it. So it's like in my mind I'm like strong, I can do this, what, blah blah blah, but like it's very different from the person watching it from the other side. I get set up, and this is my new home now. Leading up to my birth story, I'm now in there getting better, everything is fine. I had my scary moments, so it's like bad. I remember there were days where we would feel lonely, you would just cry yourself, you would wonder you're going to make it because like you are so sick, you don't have energy, no one is allowed to visit you. Like luckily we had like windows where our people would come visit us and give us stuff and whatnot. It was a lonely place to be. I cried most of the nights. Other nights I was okay. It's a horrible feeling. It feels like people don't want to be. It gets so lonely because like the nurses would walk in, were dressed in those suits, man, the white suits. It was so bad, guys. Like, oh, even just thinking about it, it was the loneliest place to be. We don't know each other, but like we kind of like became friends in the ward, and mind you, we were not even allowed to like, we were not allowed to help each other, because like they thought if you help the other person, you are just gonna make it worse for them, because most of us were waiting for our results and we didn't know if we were COVID positive or not. So like we are not allowed to help each other. Sometimes we're like, you can't even move, you can't even do anything for yourself, so you need so much help, but like you're not allowed to have anybody in there to help you. Yeah, we were in there, man. Like we hung in there. Sometimes our bathroom was not clean because the cleaners didn't want to come in. And mind you, we are not just in there as sick women. There were people who are there to give birth, and there were people who were in labor giving birth. They came in labor, so they would give birth, and they would obviously use the bathroom, because you know what happens when a person gives birth. And for those who don't know, obviously you like start bleeding, and like you are so helpless that sometimes like you overbleed, or like those who are less fortunate, they don't have like maternity pads to take care of themselves. So it's like they just bleed all over the place. We try to clean up, but it's like we need the help for like the people who actually do the work to come in every now and then to clean up. Because you can't sit on somebody's blood on the toilet pot, or like go in the shower and then find somebody's blood. Obviously, like it's not healthy. Those are some of the worst parts. I won't even start with the hygiene in the hospital. Like you can't keep anything there. We had little friends called cockroaches. Like they were there to visit us every time in our food. Whenever you leave your food, like I had to come up with a tactic of like getting zipper bags and like zipping my food in like those bags, so that our little friends don't get inside. Also, the food was not good. First of all, because I couldn't taste anything and I couldn't smell anything. It was just bad. So I didn't really have appetite, and I knew that I was starving my son. He was born 3.1 kgs, but I had a feeling that he would have been more than that had I had appetite to eat and like feed him. There were days where I would eat, there were days where I wouldn't eat. They had certain medication, but they didn't have other medication, so we were asked to go buy our own medicine like from the pharmacy. So my thing was, fine, I understand, they admitted me, they need me to be well. I got so much better that I just wanted to go home because I was so tired of the hospital, and I was in there for a week, like a whole week. And I remember on this day, I think it was a Saturday, I started going through it. Like I was crying, I was just tired of the place. I just wanted to go home. I just wanted to feel free. There were some really good nurses, and I hope that one day I can go back there and find them and then like just go thank them, honestly, because they were so nice. There were some nurses that took us as family. There were those who refused to wear those COVID-19 suits or whatever they're called. They would come and greet us every morning. And if you know me personally, you know I'm a very big joker. Like I joke a lot. I would always make jokes with these nurses, and then every morning they would come in, they would greet me, "Good morning, Miriam, why are you so quiet today? Are you going to crack a joke?" It was always a thing. Sunday, I was like, I remember my mom, they were trying to get me out of the hospital, And then I asked how I'm supposed to get out, and then they said you're supposed to sign a paper of termination, and then we can now grant you to go home since you are feeling better, and we can all tell that you're fine. So I asked this nurse, I asked her to ask the doctor if I could go home the next day, which was Monday. She came back and she told me, oh Miriam, you're going in for theater tomorrow.